Hi there, quantum dreamers. Lyra here. Here we are at this Midsummer Night's Dream in Wonderland, and we have adventures ahead. And the idea here today is to share with you and why we're creating talismans. We're planning on doing a paper mache look like this, and then we'll continue. This is a tea party celebration and online fundraiser that's brought to you by Great Works Alliance and Herbalicious Bliss. If you T.H.A.T.C.H, Herbalicious Bliss is the producer of this and is a part of our organization and nonprofit. All funds raised are being allocated to our newest project. Our newest project is THATCH, which is the Mobile Tea House and Transdimensional Community Hub. This is a community outreach program that we have been working on for 6 months. If you look at videos, you will see that we have been building the tea house on top of a tiny little wagon trailer. So, some of the things that you will need for today's activity is going to be paper, glue, water, flour. Then you're going to need to have some mold for your paper mache hat. And I've been using a plate as my base. And where did the top go? There it goes. And a little planter pot. Now you can also use a plastic cup. That will work just as well. We want to make sure that we have saran wrap or some kind of plastic wrap on hand because this is going to be just a mold that we put the paste and paper on when creating our hat. Get ready to unleash your inner artist as we venture into the whimsical realm of talisman making. During our virtual gathering today, you'll have the chance to craft your own paper mache hat or talisman. And we talk about the significance in our passions and how they're shaping your personal journey. As we go on this road, we want to talk about why we're creating talismans. What's the importance of creating a talisman? We believe that it is important not only for our connection with the divine, but for our ability to have more clarity in manifesting what our intentions are, what we're following through with in our passions. Anchoring is another great aspect and a helpful thing about creating a talisman because it helps us to focus our energy and align with the symbology and inner wisdom as we're developing our talisman. This heightens the state of awareness and expands our consciousness, allowing us to access deeper insights and revelations about ourselves and our path. It also helps in creating a focus. Having a physical talisman provides a tangible focal point for our thoughts, emotions, and spiritual practice. It gives us something to return to, reminding us of our intentions and helping us stay centered even in times of chaos or distraction. Ultimately, talismans are powerful tools for self-discovery, transformation, and manifestation. And that's why we're creating talismans today. The reason that we are using the hat motif is because this is a tea party and we like to have constructive and fun conversations around different strengths and virtues and our cares. And we can change seats, we can change hats even. Like I've been known to wear 2 hats on my head on occasion. And so I hope that you will join us as we go forward in creating these paper mache talismans and hats together. All right, so since I started working on this a couple of days ago, I got it to be dry enough to be able to show you what it looks like after I've put a few layers of paper mache on top of the mold using my planter cup. Using this planter cup and putting it on a plate, making sure that it is centered. Then we take our plastic wrap. I got a nice piece available already. How about that? And we do this so that the paper mache does not stick to the mold. Make sure that you cover all of the surface that you will be working on. Now, the first hat I did, I actually did not cover the planter pot, and it was a little difficult. Luckily, the hat was not fully sticking to the planter pot, and that's why we're doing this. Very important, all these steps. Now, while we are working on this project today, I hope that you will take some time to look at the questions that are in the description box below and start thinking about your answers to them. Exploring those different aspects of what are your passions? What do you think your hurdles are? What's holding you back from doing what you want to do? How do you see yourself overcoming those challenges? All right, so I have a whole bag of supplies here. This was all in preparation for the event to be outside. We will be doing other events in the future that will be tea party events, and we will find more agreeable venues, I shall say. All right, got it untied. Okay, got my flour, glue, paper, scissors. Make sure you have your scissors so that you can cut things. More paper, and even more paper. I want to make sure that your strips, paper strips that you've cut, are not too thin, thick enough. They can paste on in a wrapped fashion, but not too long because we're making a small talisman here. So keep that in mind when you prepare your paper. All right. With that in mind, moving things out of my way, I'm going to add some flour to my water. So I have about a cup of water here, right? And I'm going to do about a cup of flour into this cup of water and mix it up. We want to turn it into a soupy paste. Okay, well, stirring sticks. They're always great. While I'm stirring this, you may wonder, what do I got over here? These are cards that Nate and I created for our game, Sparkitude. And Sparkitude is a game of interpersonal exploration and evaluation of our strengths and virtues and how they relate and how do we relate to each other when we recognize compassion, when we recognize altruism, when we recognize love or express these virtues and strengths, and how do they connect to one another? What are those shadows that come up? And how do we resolve those shadows? How do we bring light to those shadows? So think about that a little bit when you're pondering those questions that are down below in the description. Add that to your story. These are tools. This is all about the quantum ripples and the quantum layers, how they're connected and how we're connected in the quantum field. And how we want to interact with the world, how we want to treat each other. We have our sign here, always be honest, be kind, be friendly. Just how you want to be treated, right? This is some of what we do. We talk about, share with others. Maybe you know somebody down on their luck and are trepidatious about coming and talking to them because you don't know what to say. Explore that a little. See what's holding you up, because you never know what will happen when you open up and talk to somebody. See where they're coming from, how they're feeling, how you can help. All right, we're almost done with this paste. Getting kind of thick. Making it real thick. There we go. So it looks like that. Like pancake mix, right? And then guess what we do? We add some glue. Because we want to make sure that our talisman has securely bonded. 20 seconds of glue out. 5, 10, 11, 20-ish. You know, use your best judgment. And use my stirring stick. Make sure you get that glue fully stirred in. All right? See, look at that. There's the hat. Ta-da! I already did it, right? Come right out. But when you're applying, you want to make sure that you get enough paste on your stick, on your paper, I mean. And you start applying pasted paper to your mold. Are there any questions? Great. No questions. So we will go on to the next part of this adventure in putting the plate. So once you have got your primary mold created and your primary talisman shape that you want, then you let it dry, and it'll take probably 6 hours to 2 days, depending on how many layers of paper you put on there to begin with. And then to go back, we want to make this shape more smooth, more crisp. So I'm going to take it from here, put it on the plate that I used that had the saran wrap on it. After I've taken all of that off, I'm going to put this hat back on the plate. The idea is to bond the plate to the bottom of the hat so that it's nice and smooth here. And then we can poke a hole in here and put the rest of the paper on the inside of the hat. So I'm going to start by putting my paper mache paper for another layer onto the rim of the hat, right? When we have a game of Sparkitude that is out in the public with people joining us together, we invite everyone to select a card from the board, from the deck of cards that we have laid out for people to look through. The objective of the first part of the event is to be able to ponder questions like I've asked you to ponder the questions that are in the description on this video. And by thinking about the relationship of the different character strengths and virtues and what they mean to us individually as we are walking around, meeting others, and sharing in a community-like environment, expands our understanding of what's going on and how we can all connect and collaborate together. There are a lot of people out there who, have events, and we have music events that we go to and stuff. And we want to talk about that positive growth in relationships, because this is about the EQ, and building your EQ helps when you're looking to collaborate and connect with others. Having those relationship skills, communication skills, and soft skills. Those are also valued soft skills that are valued in the workplace. So it translates to teams, community, to social engagements, as well as for school activities. Children who are exposed to positive psychology tools such as Sparkitude have better grades and better connections and relationships with their peers than those who have not learned these skills. So they're very, very important in connecting within a community, within a group of people, and within our networks, whether they are online, like this one, or in your small town or big town, big city, like Las Vegas. Who knows, right? Putting a little paste on the bottom rim of the hat. Make sure that it smooths out a little bit. It's going to start bonding. Now, I was thinking we might actually do the Midsummer Nights Dreaming event as a regular thing for this summer. Just meet up here, do some arts and crafts, have some tea together, have some lively conversation. You are invited. We'll do it once a month, I think. Unless there's more people who want to expand on this. Tea time, right? Nate and I did a investigation when we were working on this project for the mobile tea house to do a deep dive into the influence that tea and coffee and tea houses have made upon society throughout history. And it's pretty fantastic and amazing. Renaissance and revolutions that have come out, the intuitive creation and the penny universities back in the day, how professors would spend time in these coffee shops connecting with their students and people on the street. And, coffee shops have been a real instrument in breaking down those social barriers so that We aren't all siloed based on our economic status, but we actually have those connections that we can build within our community, like coffee shops, the like, tea houses. So that's the reasoning behind THATCH, is to bring that back. You ever go to a Starbucks and try to have a good conversation with somebody without being interrupted by the espresso machine? Yeah, that can be a challenge. I'm evening out my brim now. Did you know that? And we talk about the reason that we decided to create Thatch and it being a dark indigo blue is because we love Doctor Who, and he had the TARDIS, he, she, the Doctor has the TARDIS and goes all over in this small looking vehicle that turns out to be bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And we thought, hey, let's do this for real. Let's have a real TARDIS. It can go popping up anywhere. Connecting with community, having fun events, activities and workshops, building resilience in the community, right? Resilience. Hey, my hat's coming together. It's starting to stick to the plate. Yay! It's been a while since I've done paper mache, so give me a minute. If you don't like paper mache or don't want to create a talisman that's made of paper mache, there are other ways to have fun and create talismans. I do wire wrapping, crystal wrapping, beading, creating necklaces, creating bowls, all kinds of things. To help support THATCH and our other projects of community outreach and interpersonal engagement, be sure to click the link below. There are multiple levels at which you can donate, and you will receive a gratitude package for your donation depending on the size. So there will be 6 different options that you will be able to see on the form, and whichever option you choose has an explanation of the gift that we send you for your help and support of common unity in our community, our local community, and our global community. We also invite you to come and volunteer with us when we have events that we host, whether we're hosting them in Las Vegas or California or New York. Wouldn't that be fun? Look at this. Now, if I had more people on, I wouldn't be working so diligently on this right now. I'd be talking and sharing. We would go on to the SoulSpark Playground. What is the SoulSpark Playground? Well, it's a place where you can share your passions and your offerings and the things that you care about with others who care the same way. Providing a place for people from all over the world to connect in a more interpersonal way, and then from there build those relationships in collaboration with each other. Let's collaborate together. There are a lot of things that are upside down in the world today. We can either complain about them, start activating solutions. I say we activate solutions. That's what the doctor is all about. Activating peaceful, positive solutions to whatever the calamity might be.